Welcome to the Azamara pursuit, and you join us in part 2 of our Italy and Adriatic adventure on a rare sea day. Like them or not, they do provide a rest from port-intensive voyages and an opportunity to slow the pace down a bit and try a few new things, like breakfast on your balcony in your bathrobes, for instance, which has got to be experienced at least once, not least for the excuse to wear the robes. After that, and continuing the roby theme, you could use the captive time on board to visit the spa, like the Sanctum here. This exclusive spa area is at the front of the ship and occupies a rarefied piece of bow-facing open deck, and features those delicious sun lounges that Azamara should be famous for, and more about those later. There's also some dangly seating and a superheated giant hot tub extravagantly called a thalassotherapy pool, which provides a therapeutic immersion in soothing salt water as warm bubbles gently caress your muscles and skin. Is there a more relaxing word than soothe? I don't think so. In addition to the pool, thalassotherapy also includes various treatments such as mud baths, body wraps, and exfoliation, and they all seek to rid your body of those nasty built-up toxins. However, if you don't fancy shelling out for the Sanctum and wish to remain mildly toxic, there's plenty of room in the centre, drastically less heated pool and hot tubs, where we never have to sit uncomfortably rubbing bare shoulders with other guests while creating awkward conversation, or indeed find large families hogging a tub in their own bubbling body broth for hours on end. In fact, we had a hot tub each today. Who said Azamara wasn't indulgent enough? Not I, for sure. Sea days don't get busier than this scene here. Look how overcrowded the pool is. And I have to say, these luxuriously cushioned sunbeds are almost as comfortable as the beds in the staterooms. Honestly, they're the most relaxing lounges we've ever encountered on a ship. I challenge you to disagree, while laying on one. I'll win, because you'll be asleep within a few seconds. This sea day also held a few more surprises as the chefs wheeled out 3 large charcoal barbecues and proceeded to start a very large fire right there on the deck. Luckily for us, it was contained just enough to avoid sounding a general emergency signal, and the resulting barbecue was an absolute joy. As you can see here, there was a huge variety of food served up by the ship's officers, which was a really nice touch. Who said sea days were boring on small ships? Not I, for sure. The next morning we arrived at Syracuse in Sicily. Steeped in ancient history and the birthplace of that mythical mathematical genius Archimedes, this city will keep you fascinated and occupied for longer than you have here, so our advice is to set out early and wear your walking shoes. Don't forget your sense of direction though, as the tiny but gorgeous labyrinthine streets will suck you in and keep you there. Thank heavens for Google Maps and a bit of a phone signal. As mentioned in the book of Acts in the Bible, the Apostle Paul stayed here, managing to find his way around for 3 whole days without an iPhone, which is pretty miraculous in itself. I'll bet his ship bore no resemblance to the Azamara pursuit in style or comfort. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I live in the 21st century. We get to walk amongst all this ancient beauty and FaceTime our kids while eating 3 flavours of cannoli. Modern life is not that rubbish, eh? Following in the footsteps of our biblical heroes comes at a price, you know, and that price was hunger. So that evening, we dined in the Discoveries restaurant, where they laid on a fabulous menu of local cuisine, including, yes, you guessed it, cannoli. It is a common saying that you put on a pound a day in weight on a cruise. Today, make that 2. There's a special place in our hearts for any ship that has a dance couple. It's just the entertainment you need when you're tired, full of cannoli, and sipping on a post-dinner martini. Watching 2 people glide and waft around a dance floor is such a relaxing way to end the day. And the Pursuits dance team glide and waft as well as anyone you'd see on Strictly Come Dancing. Yep, it's a 10 from Helene. See what I did there? The next morning our weather angel had left us in the lurch and the rain greeted us in Kotor. The grey low clouds making the roads greasy did nothing to allay our apprehension of the beginning of our Wonders of Montenegro excursion, which was a coach ride up the most scary road in Montenegro. All 25 hairpin turns of it. It didn't help that the coach felt way wider than the road, and the hairpins induced silent panic in all but the most gung-ho in the coach. Yes, I'm exaggerating a little, but not that much. There was a respite from the terror, though, in the form of an incredible viewpoint above the clouds, where our tiny ship dutifully poked through a gap in the misty veil, as if being obedient to the tour organisers. Nicely played, Azamara. Oh, and God. Eventually the road became less stressful and led to our first stop, a tiny village between 2 mountains called Enjussi. I think it's called Enjussi. With a population of just 35 people, it certainly was an eye-opener as to how Montenegrin villagers live, and in places it resembled an abandoned Russian village from the Cold War era. We ate the local dish of ham and cheese, the name of which I can't pronounce, but here it is. But it proudly forms part of the officially recognised Montenegrin cuisine. We were in unfamiliar but thoroughly local territory here. What an eye-opener! Further along the road, our last stop was the town of Cetinje. Cetinje? Something like that. Once the seat of Montenegrin rule and drenched in this country's history, around 14,000 people call here home. Although the secondary but honorary capital of this country, and where the official residence of the president is situated, and the site of the country's national library, its characteristics still reminded me of something from behind the Iron Curtain. But, in fact, this country is classified by the World Bank as an upper middle income country. So what do I know, eh? The court church was built in 1886 on the ruins of the original Cetinje monastery, and its fence is made from the barrels of captured enemy Ottoman rifles. Inside this tiny building are the white marble tombs of Nicola I and Milena, Montenegro's last sovereigns. This tiny, seemingly unremarkable city certainly packs a cultural punch at almost every turn. Luckily, we took a sensible road back to Kotor, not the suicidal one. But the rain had well and truly set in for the day, which was a shame because Kotor is an ideal place to throw a drone up in the air for some stunning aerial shots of the ship. I sat for ages waiting for the rain to ease, because although I am waterproof, drones are not. But, alas, it was not to be. Even the old town didn't hold much of a draw in this weather, and our excursion today certainly proved that there was much more to Montenegro than Kotor. Our day was proper destination immersion. We weren't leaving until late that evening, so sipping on a cocktail, looking out over a darkened city while the house band plays some jazzy tunes was just about the perfect end to a busy day. And also the perfect end to this episode of our Italy and Adriatic adventure. We hope you've enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel, as we've got another 2 episodes to come and some wonderful places to show you. Until then, do widzenia, I think. Do widzenia? Do widzenia. Goodbye.